Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a man called Michael Richard. And one day, for absolutely no good reason that he could put his finger on, he found himself talking to Celia. Celia missed his first message and saw it 3 days later. "Hi," she said, "I just saw you. I was away for the weekend staying with friends." "Oh, that's amazing, staying with friends," he said. "How are you doing?" "Why is staying with a friend's amazing?" asked Celia. "Aren't you allowed to do that?" "I also like to visit my friends when I could be able, and I enjoyed staying with them. It's amazing to me," he said. And I apologised for reading out his messages as if he might be about 12 years old. But, you know. "Oh, OK," said Celia. "I never thought of it that way. It's just something I do." "OK," he said. "That's nice. Where are you from?" "I live in Durham," said Celia. "It's a small city in England. Where are you?" "I'm a businessman," he replied, "and I'm also a contractor. I'm building malls, but currently I'm in Turkey for a contract. I will back soon." "Where do you live when you aren't in Turkey?" she asked. "I'm from Texas, but currently I'm in Turkey for a contract. I'll back soon," he said again. "OK, what's the contract you're working on?" asked Celia. "Building malls," he said. "It's not been too long I've been in Turkey. It's just a month and a week. How old are you?" "I'm 55, she said. "How old are you?" "That's nice. I'm 45 years, he said. "Are you married?" "My husband died 3 years ago," said Celia. "He was a lot older than me." "Oh, so sorry for that," he said. "Do you have kids?" "I'm not married. Haven't seen a nice woman since I'm looking for a lady to spend the rest of my life with. Since my wife cheated on me, I've been single. I got her with another man in my house." "I have a son who lives in Sydney, in Australia," said Celia, "with his girlfriend." "OK, that's nice," he said. "Are you living alone? What are you doing for a living?" "I'm an administrator," said Celia. "I work in the admissions department of our university. Sorry, I'm on and off. I'm at work. Just stopped for a cup of tea." "Oh, OK, it's nice," he said. "What do you seek on here, if I may ask?" "What do you mean?" asked Celia. "It's Facebook. I keep in touch with what's going on." "I meant, are you still serious about a relationship?" he asked. "I'd like to have a serious relationship with you. I'm a very serious man, and honest, and I'll also like to meet an honest woman like you." "I haven't thought about having another relationship," said Celia. "With lockdown, I've not been out very much until just recently." "Oh, OK," he said. "I'm a traveller. I can come and visit you when I'm back. I don't normally use Facebook because of Alto of people. I like to have your Gmail so we can talk better on Hangout." Celia, who is an Alto, doesn't like discrimination against Altos. Ask any Alto, they'll tell you. "I think basses and tenors can use Facebook as well," she said, "and sopranos. Are you saying Altos rule the world?" "We do, guys, we do." "You're welcome to come visit me in Durham any time you like," she said. "It would be lovely to meet you." And she gave him her email address. "Thanks, dear. You're welcome," he said. "Nice to meet you here, and I promise to make you happy as my wife. I sent you messages on Hangout, dear." "Your wife?" said Celia. "Was that a proposal? How exciting!" "Was that a proposal?" Celia asked again, once they were on Hangouts. "Do you really want me to be your wife? I'm so excited." "Yes, dear," he said. "Will you marry me? I'll be so happy to have you as my wife. I really wish to be your husband, if you don't mind, dear." Because obviously you accept random proposals of marriage from random men that you've talked to for a couple of hours on Facebook. "Oh, that's so exciting," said Celia. "I don't know what to say. I've gone all weak at the knees." "Oh dear, please say something," he said. "Once I'm back, I must come to you." "I really do want to get married again," said Celia. "So yes, please. I'm high maintenance. Will you keep me in the style to which I wish to become accustomed?" "Oh yes, dear," he said. "I'm really happy now. I'll do whatever I can to make you feel happy." For a few days their conversation fell into boring small talk, and then Celia asked him, "What are you working on at the moment?" "I'm at the site working, honey," he said. "What are you doing now?" "I've been busy working. Are you at home now?" If the person that you're talking to online never seems to be able to tell you what they're actually doing, there's probably a reason for that. They probably aren't doing what they say they're doing, and they're probably a scammer. Yes, I'm at home, said Celia. I asked what you're working on now. I know you're working, but what are you working on? Just controlling my boys and telling them what to do, he said. How are you doing? How has your day been today at work? Yes, she said, but you must be telling them what to do about something. I don't remember what you're doing. Building a wall, building a bridge, building a house, building a road, building a bypass. You must be actually working on something. Yes, honey, he said, building a house. But we're done for today, just trying to eat something. What are you doing now? You know, that usual stupid question they ask. And usually Celia and all the girls say, talking to you. What are you doing? And they usually reply, the same. But Celia was feeling facetious. So she said, running around the garden, screaming. What are you doing? Oh, really, he said. Why are you streaming? I'm chatting with you, and I enjoyed it any time I'm chatting with you. Are you alone there? I'm not streaming anything, said Celia. It was a silly question, wasn't it? What do you think I'm doing? I meant screaming, he said. I told you, said Celia, it was a silly question, wasn't it? My mum used to say if you ask a silly question, you'll get a silly answer. So he thought he'd redeem himself. And all together now, because you know what he asked next. Have you eaten? Then Celia thought maybe they should start making some plans. What are your long-term plans? She asked. Will you get a job here? We would be together and travel to any place you like, he said. Oh, she said. Are you saying I should leave my job? Yes, he said. I would love to get a job over there so that I'll not be travelling out any more. The complete opposite of what he's just said. We need to make some proper plans, don't we? Said Celia. What kind of job would you want? I'll establish a restaurant when I come to you, he said. I don't really know when I'll be back. I was reading your messages, honey. I didn't disappear, because they'd exchanged a few messages. OK, honey. Have sweet dreams. I love you. The following afternoon, Celia asked him, what kind of restaurant do you want to run? And now it's time for a question. What kind of restaurant does he want to run? A food restaurant, he said. I'm glad we cleared that one up. Of course, said Celia. Serving food is what restaurants do. What kind of food? What kind of food would you like? Because any food you like will be okay, he answered. If you plan to run a restaurant, said Celia, you must know what kind of food you like cooking. Rice and pizza, etc., he said. You mean an Italian restaurant? Asked Celia. Yes, he said. Don't you like it? I didn't say I didn't like it, said Celia. Is cooking your hobby? At which point our man disappeared for a while. Yes, he said when he came back. I like cooking. Of course you do if you want to open a restaurant, said Celia. I was hoping you'd tell me why you want to open one and tell me what kind of food you enjoy cooking. I love cooking, he said. Hot dog, macaroni and cheese, and burger. I can't wait to dine at his exciting restaurant. The reason why I want to open a restaurant, he continued, is because that's the only thing I can be able to do. I don't really know places in England to look for a job. I thought you said you wanted to open an Italian restaurant, said Celia. I think what he means is he wants to run a mobile burger bar. Don't you need to be able to cook to open a restaurant? Yes, that's what I told you. And I also love cooking those foods I mentioned, he said. There's a lot of foods that I can be able to cook. So why do you want to serve hot dogs, burger and macaroni cheese, she said. That sounds like a cheap American diner, not an Italian restaurant. I know, he said, but I can also cook them. You aren't making sense, said Celia. If you want to open an Italian restaurant, shouldn't you be telling me about the amazing Italian dishes you cook, instead of cheap, trashy foods? Come on, don't get me wrong here, he said. So, tell me about some of the Italian dishes you want to cook, she said. We have a lot of good restaurants in Durham, so you'll have to cook good food if you want to compete. Our man hit Google and came back with a random list of Italian foods. Pizza, lasagna, Florentine steak, ossobuco, risotto, truffles, focaccia. That sounds delicious, said Celia, tired of arguing with him. Where should we get married? Asked Celia. And will you buy me a nice ring? I do like nice things. Honey, he said, I'll buy you a golden ring. And I'm also thinking where we can get married. We will go to Texas and get married. Texas, said Celia. Ooh, how exciting. Yes, honey, he said. We're going to calibrate it. It's going to be a wonderful day that day. Oh, said Celia. Why does it need calibrating? Is there a scale of weddings in Texas? It's because I love you so much. That's why I want to calibrate it, he said. I don't understand why it needs calibrating, replied Celia. That must be an American thing. What is the wedding scale? All right, honey, he said. We aren't going to calibrate it any more. Just waiting for the day I'll be back. There's no scale of weddings in Texas. A few more days of meaningless babble followed, and then on Saturday, he said, Where are you now, honey? I'm really missing you. I'm in the living room, she said. Where are you? I'm in break, he said, just trying to take my bath. Honey, tell me how you'll kiss me when I see you tonight, every time I think about you. Are you coming here today? Said Celia, getting all excited. Not. Will I really see you tonight? How exciting! What time will you be arriving? Honey, he said, I didn't mean I'll arrive today. And now their relationship is about to take a nosedive. There's only so much idiocy that a girl can stand, after all. At lunchtime on Saturday, of course, they got talking about food. Oh, OK, honey, he said. What did you eat? How are you doing? I had a sandwich, she said. What did you eat? I just had only pizza, he said. What are you doing now, honey? I'm talking to you, said Celia. What are you doing? Same here, honey, he said. So why did you ask? Said Celia. I'm talking to you too, he replied. So that was a daft question, wasn't it? Said Celia. What kind of food do you eat in Turkey? Don't they have something more interesting than pizza? Just want to know, honey, he said. Do you have any plan for today? They have more things, but I love eating pizza, 'cause I like it. Yes, I do have a plan for today, said Celia, not telling him what it was. What kind of food do they eat in Turkey? So our man Googled food in Turkey and came up with part of a list. You'll see the rest in a minute. Mini ravioli, kofta, Turk's meatballs, lahmacun, Turkish-style pizza, menemen, Turkish egg delicacy. This is the kind of food in Turkey, he said. What's a Turkish-style pizza? Asked Celia. Is that what you had? Yes, what I had now. It's very delicious, he said. What is it? Asked Celia. Isn't like other pizza, he said, but it's same pizza. So why is it called Turkish pizza? She asked. If you're not from Turkey, Google it, which our man patently failed to do. It looks rather yummy. Honey, he answered, I don't really know, but that's what they called it. Oh, she said, and when I asked what kind of food they had in Turkey, I was hoping you'd tell me in your own words, not copy and paste 4 items from a 38-item list. What did you mean by copy and paste? Said our offended 12-year-old. I had a friend that told me more about their foods. I don't really know everything about Turkey. No, mate, you don't really know anything about Turkey. Really, said Celia, so you didn't tell me this? And she copied and pasted the 4 items that he had, but she screenshotted them directly from the list. That's what I told you, he said, but you're getting me wrong. Which, she pointed out, includes the Turkish-style pizza that you're apparently unable to describe, despite having just eaten one. You know I'm not from Turkey, he said. I only went there for a work. And which, she continued rather haughtily, as you know, comes from this list. And here's the list she found on Google, headed 38 delicious Turkish foods, and here's about the first 15 or so of them. What a haul are you talking about? He said. You've got to admire auto-text on some phones. I'm not a haul, said Celia, but you're a liar. Is that how you are? He said. Able to spot a liar? Replied Celia. Yes, that's how I am. You just asked me a simple question, and I answered you, he said. You're saying that I lied to you. Now that I see that you don't like me, you're just chatting with me. You don't really love me. It's hard to love someone that copies and pastes and then tries to pretend they didn't, said Celia. I'd have more respect for you if you admitted it and explained why you did it. But you know that you asked a lot of questions about Turkey, he said, rapidly changing his mind from one simple question. It hasn't been too long I came here, and I don't really know everything about here, but you're asking me everything. See, food is everything about Turkey. I thought you'd be the one that I can spend the rest of my life with. That's why I want to come to you once I'm back, because I love you. But you don't have any feels for me, don't even like me. How would I be happy to love someone that didn't love me? I didn't ask you a lot of questions about Turkey, said Celia. I asked you one question. Even someone who's only been there for the weekend would be able to tell me about the food. Some more pointless arguing ensued, and finally Celia said, Goodbye. Why are you telling me bye? He asked. Which part of I don't like people that tell lies are you struggling with? She asked. I think it's safe to say that that wedding is cancelled. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please hit the like button, please share it, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another video.